Look at the numbers. Look at Jameis' numbers. What was the difference in the game? Turnovers.
Yeah. You pay
Cincinnati yesterday, Ocho.
You pay double.
3. He threw the 3.
Gotta play better. Gotta play better. The team doesn't deserve that. Have to finish fourth quarters when it matters most. Can't have bad throws.
You know, we forced 3 turnovers, and that was kind of the difference in the game.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Shooting for the Stars podcast with your one and only host, Cameron Williams. And I'm back here today, you guys, bringing y'all another episode. As we already know, y'all guys will see by the title of this video, I'm bringing y'all Monday Night Football recap, the night between the Denver Broncos and the Cleveland Browns, as the Denver Broncos defeat the Cleveland Browns 34-32 in Denver tonight to close out Week 13. As we close out Thanksgiving weekend, you guys, and the football season's already going by fast. I mean, my goodness, I remember when I made the first episode. I mean, now it's going by like this. I mean, fast, about a snap of a finger. I mean, seriously. And I'm going to break it all down to you guys. I mean, tonight's Monday night game, you guys, was everything but thrilling. I mean, absolutely was entertaining. And I will say, Jameis Winston gave us a Jameis Winston-like game. Before I get into it, y'all guys already know how we go. Hit the like, comment, subscribe button, and turn on y'all post notifications if y'all want to see more content just like this. And I'm bringing you guys the uploads, and y'all guys already know how it goes. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I need y'all guys' help to get there as we're on this journey. And enough of rambling. Let's get into the video. So tonight's game, as we all know, was all but entertaining. Jameis Winston gave us that game. I mean, there was highs, there was lows. I mean, it was a lot of great stuff in this game to take away. I mean, first of all, let me start off. Jameis Winston already had Jameis Winston, congratulations, had the second most passing yards on Monday Night Football in NFL history with 497, coming only behind Tom Brady for 517. I mean, so that's a good accomplishment for him. And of course, and I'm going to get into the Denver Broncos, is with the Broncos win tonight. It makes Bonix the first QB ever to go 6-0 as a favorite in their rookie season. So that's a great accomplishment for those two men right there. As I want to get into it, first I'm going to start off. Let me start off with the Cleveland Browns. This was a very entertaining game. Cleveland coming off a hard, gritty win on last Thursday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was a snowy game, and they really got some confidence. Jameis Winston, before coming into today, was 2-2 as the starter. Now it's 2-3 at taking over. And first, I'm gonna say this about Jameis Winston. I'm gonna say this, you guys, about Jameis Winston. What about the Cleveland Browns? Jameis Winston is a little like the bachelor party from Vegas. It's a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of fun. But there will be some really bad judgment. I mean, it'll be some really bad judgment. And you'll probably end up regretting it. That's Jameis Winston's career. I mean, honestly, that's to sum up Jameis Winston's career. He's a lot of fun. But when you look back at it, it's like you think, shoot, man, scratching your head. Man, what the heck? What the heck were we thinking? I wouldn't do that again. I mean, and that's just Jameis Winston. I mean, he played phenomenal. I mean, honestly, had the most passing through the most passing yards in Cleveland Brown history. I believe Jameis Winston tonight completed 34 out of 58 of his passes, threw 497 passing yards, which was the most in Cleveland Browns history. Threw 4 touchdown passes and 3 interceptions. And his wide receiver Jerry Jeudy, man, this was the revenge tour. But it ain't a revenge tour if you don't get the win. But man, my goodness, man, I mean, he proved every reason why. I mean, why the Denver Broncos should have kept him last year. I mean, Jerry Jeudy's 219 receiving yards tonight surpasses Terrell Owens for the most receiving yards against an opposing team. He surpassed Terrell Owens with 213. Jerry Jeudy had 219 tonight, torturing the Denver Broncos secondary. I mean, absolutely. And honestly, and I said this, what's one thing about Denver that I said, man? I mean, I would have, even though, because keep in mind, Jerry Jeudy was took it in the first round pick, and he was pick number 15 in the first round. He was the second. I remember that draft. He was a second pick. Took but right after Henry Ruggs, and he was taken before Justin Jefferson and A.J. Brown and guys like that. I believe, no, not A.J. Brown. Yeah, he was taken before A.J. Brown in that draft. And a lot of guys were like, man, what? Man, huh? Like, and looking back at it, but no, not then. Now, Like, and he's never had, until then, for his 4 seasons in Denver, he's never had a 1,000-yard season. And many people are like, man, why Jerry Jeudy? Guys, when you cut on the tape and when Jerry Jeudy came into the league, guys, this dude was supposed to be the best route runner right out the gate. I mean, that dude he just had everybody saying. I mean, in the tape show, this dude just had a special ability to be able to get open. He had a special niche to get open. He was able to get open at the drop of the dime. And even now, that's not the problem. And the reason why, it didn't pan out, his best year, I believe, was his best season, honestly, really was his 3rd year in Denver with Russell Wilson, a horrible year with Nate Hackett area. We had 975 yards, but he's never eclipsed a 1,000-yard season since being in the league. Denver, they traded him. Well, he said he wanted to leave out. He said he wanted to go out, and he got it. Some guys, times I just say players probably just need a fresh start. Dealing with a revolving door of quarterbacks. In and out head coaches, and just I just feel like he just wanted to get a fresh start. And now one could argue is Cleveland better, but tonight he had the game of his life. And why he had the game of his life, I want to start off with one reason why he hit for Denver, and I'm gonna get there for Denver. Okay, not to take away from Jerry Jeudy, but man, rock cornerback, second cornerback on the Denver Broncos depth chart, Riley Moss, was out tonight. Was out dealing with was a little banged up, so it steps up. So you know what the code is: next man mentality. Cornerback Levi Wallace steps up to the lineup, and man, from the first play, I was literally watching the game, and I was saying, man, somebody need to go get that dude. Somebody need to go get that. I mean, he would be cut tonight. That dude was horrible. And Vance Joseph, defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos, and Denver fans, y'all got to be agreeing with me on one thing. If Pat Surtain is an all-pro corner, most people would say majority 90%, 95% people that watches the NFL will probably say that cornerback Patrick Surtain is the best cornerback by a mile in the National Football League. So if he's the best cornerback in the National Football League, and if he's all pro Pat and he's all world, why is he not following Jerry Jeudy? I mean, he followed him a little bit throughout the game, covered him here and there, but he wasn't on him the whole game. When he's popping, when you got a guy who's setting record numbers on you, you need to have your best guy on him. Well, I mean, and why do you have a guy named Levi Wallace following him? I mean, Surtain should have been on him the whole night. And don't get me wrong, Jerry Jeudy was getting away with, so y'all guys can see some pushing and shoving along with this game. I mean, he was, but even then, man, God dog, man, he was routinely just finding holes, getting open, routing up guys, getting up winning one-on-ones with linebackers. I mean, torturing Levi Wallace in that secondary. I mean, all day long. I mean, honestly, when you look at it, I found a hard time. Like, how does Cleveland not win? That's why I say, man, Jameis Winston as good. That's why I say Jameis Winston. He's not a guy like I want to build around as a starting quarterback. But if he's my backup quarterback, he's the best backup quarterback by a mile. Make no mistake about that. He is. I'll give him that. But man, he just doesn't. As you see, how do you not win this game? If this was any other quarterback, and by the first play, they're taking advantage of Levi Wallace right off the bat. I mean, you have to. You just have to. I mean, what? I mean, how do you lose this game? And Winston threw 3 picks. I mean, like I said, he had 2 pick sixes and 1 pick literally at the end of the game to Cody Barton. When he caught it, the only thing he was thinking about was running it down for a 103-yard pick six, but got tackled by Jerry Jeudy. I mean, like I said, just plays like that, man. I mean, you just cannot. I mean, how? And if I'm Levi Wallace, even if I'm not, I gotta take the assignment. If I know I'm a backup and I know I'm filling the role, I'm gonna do I'm at least gonna put up my heart. I'm at least gonna show some heart. Guys, look how this dude is standing. He don't even look like he ready to lock something down. I mean, somebody go get that dude. Go get that. I mean, I know Sean Payton had to be thinking that in the back of his mind. Man, somebody gotta go get that dude. I mean, seriously. Look, you just let Jerry Jeudy just run right by you. I mean, he didn't even really this even a ride. He just run right by you. You can't let nobody run right by you up like that. And while the ball's hanging in the air, he can't even recover to at least make a play to at least stop, at least rally him up right there so we don't score. Jerry Jeudy just runs right into the end zone. I mean, just runs right by you. That can't happen. And the good thing is for Denver, they have a bye week coming up. So they have their last team with a bye week, and they need it so they can get healthy, and tighten some things up. But man, like I said, I'll give it to this Denver team. And one thing I want to give it to, I want to get in the Denver, man. For y'all Denver fans, man, the Broncos have a legitimate shot to make a run, you guys. I mean, I just want to get that. The Broncos have a legitimate shot. I mean, you think about it. We're talking about a franchise who has not had success. I mean, forget a Super Bowl. This franchise has not made the playoffs since the year they won the Super Bowl, which was Peyton Manning last year in 2015, which when they defeated the Carolina Panthers in that game. They haven't. It's ever since that Super Bowl. It's been missed playoffs. It's been a revolving door of head coaches. It's been a revolving door of quarterbacks. It's just been inconsistency at its finest. And the Broncos are actually one of the more historic franchises in our league. Make no mistake about that. But over the last couple of years, it's not been success. And they come and they bring in a head coach in Sean Payton. And even last year, it was not pretty. It was not perfect. He finished off 8-9. But one thing he did, what Sean Payton did? He left Denver fans last year with something to be excited for. He left Denver fans something to be hopeful for, even after that 8-9 start last year. Because you look and see what he did with Russell Wilson, getting the guy, one will argue, why didn't he run it back at least one more year? I mean, he got him to throw 26 touchdown passes through an 8 interception ratio. The dude completed 64% of his passes last year. I mean, revived him from what he was a year ago. And he wanted to go his separate way. And one could argue now, I mean, both guys are off doing wonderful. And Sean Payton got his guy, man, in Bonix. I mean, that dude was absolutely wonderful, man. Bonix completed 18 out of 35 of his passes. Also had a big night on the throwing his arm. He threw for 294 passes, threw 1 touchdown pass and 2 interceptions. Cortland Sutton was the guy tonight. Had 6 receptions, 102 receiving yards. Marvin Mims had 1 big touchdown play today, too. The second-year guy out of Oklahoma had 3 receptions for 105 receiving yards. Had a 93-yard bomb touchdown today, right over the top of the defense. I mean, like I said, they're really starting to come together, and this marriage is perfect. I mean, I'm really starting to see the resemblance. I mean, just on that last drive when they were down on that field goal. Bo Nix was 4 out of 5 passing, went down 85 yards and got him in field goal range and put the defense in a good position to be able to hold it down and giving them the lead 34-32. I mean, seriously, you can't ask for much more than that. And I said this, man. Bo Nix is my runner-up for rookie. Is my vote for rookie of the year. I know y'all heard me say Jayden Daniels and Jayden Daniels. I mean, you look at their numbers, man. Both of these guys are having phenomenal seasons. I mean, phenomenal season. I mean, yeah, Bo Nix did throw 2 picks today. One wasn't on him, but the other one was forced it. Really forced it down into Marvin Mims, and it was a 50-50 ball. And when you have Denzel Ward down there, it's not really a 50-50 ball. Denzel Ward, as we all know, one of the best cornerbacks in this game, top 5 cornerback. Make no mistake about that. I think Bo Nix did get a welcome to the league moment today, as you know, you always can in your rookie year, as he was testing Denzel Ward a lot in this game. I like that. That's one thing I really like about Bo Nix, you guys. And I think Denver Broncos fans, he's not too conservative. I think Sean Payton wants him to be a little more like that, but I like Bo Nix, though. He plays with a lot of confidence. I mean, a lot of confidence. I mean, he does. I mean, he plays with a lot of it, and he has a lot of swag. He's not afraid to push it down the field. He's very smart. He's really good at changing the plays at the line of scrimmage. I like to call him a conductor. The way he changes blocking adjustments and audibles, and you're seeing the growth between him and Peyton, the relationship, how Peyton's letting him, and you've seen him a lot drop back today. And keep in mind, to say what you want to, the Cleveland Browns, they're playing spoiler, they're 3-8, but that defense is an elite defense, man, with Myles Garrett, Greg Newsome, Denzel Ward. I mean, Jordan Hicks, man, those guys get after it, man, over there. I mean, the dog pound, like I said, yeah, I know that they're going through some tough times over there, but make no mistake, this is still a franchise that's all about competing, and that's what they did tonight, man. And you got to think for Cleveland Brown fans, man. I mean, how could the season would have looked if y'all would have just started Jameis Winston earlier in the season before Deshaun Watson would have even got a chance to get hurt? I mean, Deshaun Watson, the first 6-7 games, man, the Cleveland Browns looked like the worst offense in this decade. Seriously, they just had an inability to move the ball. I mean, they could not sustain not no rhythm on the offensive side of the ball. And you see with Jameis Winston, no, it's not perfect, but again, I say it's going to be some highs and it's going to be some lows. He has this weird, quirky personality, but his teammates love him, man. He's a God-fearing man. He's a leader. And man, his team loves him, man. They really love playing for him, playing with him, man. And even though they're 3-8, so I tip my hats off to that Cleveland Browns team. But last thing, and I'm gonna wrap this video up. I want to get into some Coach of the Year stuff, and I'm gonna wrap this video up, you guys. And if you made it to this point of the video, y'all guys, make sure to please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what y'all guys want to hear next. As I'm getting ready to bring up this last thing about the Coach of the Year, we all know a lot of people here talks about who's going to win Coach of the Year. A lot of people are saying Dan Campbell, head coach for the Detroit Lions. He's done great works over there with that team in here, over here in his over here after coming off an NFC Conference Championship a year ago. He's done great work. They're looking like a true Super Bowl contender. Make no mistake about that. They deserve their own video, the Detroit Lions. A lot of people are saying, of course, Nick Sirianni, who was, getting his job, hearing about his job on the line from fans calling for his job in the beginning of the season. Look now, has them literally tied for the number one seed with the Detroit Lions, can give Detroit a run for their money. So you got that going on. Nick Sirianni, Mike Tomlin, once again, the most winning gets the most successful coach, the definition of stability. Mike Tomlin is getting ready to go with his 18th consecutive year in his 21st year as a head coach without missing the playoffs and with a winning record. Since Mike Tomlin's been a head coach in the National Football League, he's had a record of 500 or better. He's had a winning record every year. And with Pittsburgh, it's been 17 years prior to this year. And after this year, it's going to be 18 years this year. He's never missed the playoffs, and he's never had a losing record. Crazy. He's in talk, especially how he's resurrected Russell Wilson. Okay, so you're hearing these coaches, but Kevin O'Connell for the Vikings, Michael LaFleur, also for the Green Bay Packers. But my vote, for those guys, my vote for head coach for Coach of the Year, honestly, this year, even though you can throw Dan Quinn in there, Dan Quinn, like I said, Mike Tomlin, for put Mike Tomlin down, put Dan Campbell down, put all those guys down. Coach of the Year is head coach Sean Payton for your Denver Broncos. Because he's the only one to have winning. I mean, Jim Harbaugh's another one. He's another one. He's the only one that's winning with the rookie quarterback and with no talent. Outside of Pat Surtain, that's not a single superstar on this team. The average football fan, you talk about the Denver Broncos, they're not going to probably know nobody on that team but Patrick Surtain and now Bo Nix. Studs all over the field. And when you're in dead cap, and when you cut Russell Wilson, take a negative $85 million dead cap hit, you have no choice. And he's gotten the most out of all these guys. Vele, Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin, the rookie out of Oregon. He can play. Okay, that defense, studs all over the ball. Riley Moss, he was out. Nick Benito leading the team in sacks with 10 sacks. I mean, he had a pick six tonight. Zach Allen. He's starting to become not only that, the Denver Broncos, man, this defense full of studs. I mean, with Pat Surtain and the crew, man, they came into this game and still after tonight, they lead the league in sacks. Coming into the game with leading the league with 44 sacks, came in, left the night, now leading the league now with 47 sacks. They get after it. They're the number one blitzing team. They're third pass yards allowed. They're really good at stopping. This is a team, right? This is an underrated team, a team that nobody's talking about. And I could see them sneaking in, winning the playoff game too. Don't be surprised these boys end up winning the playoff game, because when you look at it, man, like I said, Jim Harbaugh, yeah, you could give a case for him. You can give Jim Harbaugh a case for winning Coach of the Year, no doubt about it. Coming from Michigan, first year back in the NFL, coaching, and we haven't seen him since the San Francisco 49ers days with Colin Kaepernick. But let's be honest, he has Justin Herbert. And would he have taken the job if he did not have Justin Herbert? No, okay? You can make a case for Mike Tomlin. But, of course, again, this is what we expect. Not only that, he has Cameron Hayward. He has George Pickens. He has T.J. Watt, Micah Fitzpatrick. Like I said, it's Patrick Queen. It's studs on there, man. It's guys and some nice weapons over there in Pittsburgh. You can't say he's never had weapons. Okay, you can make a case for Nick Sirianni, but again, you have Jalen Hurts, you have A.J. Brown, you have Devontae Smith, you have Saquon Barkley. Okay, I can't make a case for you. Okay, and I can, but Dan Campbell. We all don't got to get into that. Even though the Detroit Lions are dealing with a lot of injuries right now, even with Aiden Hutchinson still, you have Jared Goff, you have an all-world offensive coordinator in Ben Johnson, you have Amon Ross, St. Brown, you got Jahmyr Gibbs, you got David Montgomery, you got two bell cows back there. Okay, who you can lean on. Okay, on the defense, you got Brian Branch. It's some nice. It's superstars on that. It's superstars on that roster. So the point I'm trying to make is, you guys, is that Deshaun Payton has none of that but Patrick Surtain. Okay? Yeah, Cortland Sutton, wide receiver, a guy who I've always liked, but ever since that 2019 season, that was his last time he eclipsed 1,000 yards. He was a Pro Bowler. He tore his ACL the year after that. It never looked the same. Looked like he lost a step. He was a bit slower. He had a hard time getting in and out of his routes, trying to get separation. Okay? He's never looked the same. He's a good receiver, tries hard. He's a great leader. He's a great team captain. He's a guy that can come down with a lot of 50-50 balls. Make no mistake, he's no Justin Jefferson. He's no, he's not no, he's not no George Pickens. He's not Keenan Allen. He's not Marvin Harrison Jr. He's not Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's not A.J. Brown. He's not DK Metcalf. I got to see what I'm saying. So this is what he's working with, and yet the Broncos are 8-5. It seemed like his move on from Russell Wilson was a hit, and we're going to see how the Broncos look at the end of the season, and we're going to see how that season continues. That's going to wrap this video. Denver, they're going to go on the bye week. As next time we see them, they're going to be going up against the Indianapolis Colts, who also seem to be a team that can struggle to move the ball, but you can't count them out, of course. And then as far as the Cleveland Browns, they're going to be their next matchup coming into Week 14 will be once again against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who will stay defeated in an upset trap game last week in the snowy Thursday night game. We're going to see how they look this week as they head to Pittsburgh. And I will see y'all guys in the next video. Y'all guys let me know what y'all want to hear next. Y'all guys make sure to please leave me a like, comment, and subscribe, as I greatly love bringing y'all content. And once again, I will see y'all in the next episode on Shooting for the Stars podcast. And y'all guys let me know, are the Denver Broncos a serious threat in the AFC? Y'all guys let me know. And if the playoffs will start right now, they'll be the 7th seed. Right behind, they'll be behind the Chargers. And right now, they're one game behind the Chargers too, you guys. 8-4, Broncos 8-5. We're gonna see, man. But once again, I'll see y'all in the next episode on Shooting for the Stars podcast with y'all's one and only host, Cameron Williams.